Thanks for staying with us. And Standpoint is 21 days to the election, governorship election in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa. But we're talking about the Imo State governorship election, and we've been speaking with the Director of Mobilization, Uzodimma Re-Election Campaign Council, Jerry Chukwueke. And we've also been speaking with Mikey Henatu, who is the Deputy Director General, the PDP Campaign Council. Thank you both for staying with us. Mr. Henatu, you were speaking earlier. I did say I was going to put you on hold so you can continue with your thoughts.
Okay, fine. So I was talking about the infrastructure development. Ask Jerry Chukwueke, from government house to his house in Awaka is 2.5 kilometers. But it takes 3 hours to drive from government house to his house. Ask him why. He may pretend it's construction. It's not. It's bad road. Imagine when 3 kilometers to his house, we cannot pass. Imagine what happens in the villages. He's talking about local government. The local government allocation that comes to Imo State is 2.7 billion naira every month. Ask him for the past 3 years, calculate it. Where have they been? What has happened to that money? Now, you were talking about security, that he can move around. We have lost 9 traditional rulers, including traditional ruler from my town. We have not buried him. People just came into his palace, brought him and killed him. We have lost 9 like that. Imagine when you now lose 9 traditional rulers. He was claiming about road. There are 2 roads in Omoma, the governor's village. One was built by Achiku Denwa. One was built by Secretary under Rochas. Tell him what has he done in his village. Now, Jerry cannot go to his village. He passes through a neighboring village to get to his house. Ask him this in Awaka. Let him tell you the truth. So what are we talking about? We are looking at the health facility, and I've challenged him. Let him mention one health facility. In Izombe, we had a 33% oil.
Right, looks like Mr. Henatu's network is a bit shaky there, but I'll just bring in again Mr. Chukwueke back into the conversation. He seems to be challenging you on the achievements that you reeled out, by the governor. But I just want to ask you, why should the people of Imo return Governor Uzodimma?
Well, thank you. First, I keep saying that I don't know which imaginary Imo state my brother Mike is talking about. It is true that my hometown is Awaka, but from government house to my hometown,
can you hear me now?
Mr. Henatu, just give us a minute. Let Mr. Chukwueke finish his thought.
Okay.
It says it takes 3 hours to get from government house to my country home. I keep saying I don't know which Imo state he is imagining, because it takes less than 10 minutes from the government house across to MCC Road, and MCC Road, which is a high-quality road with drainage and street lights. You connect Toronto, and Toronto is again high-quality drainage, street lights, and Toronto connects to my hometown, Awaka, and straight to Mbise, that is under construction now, and Omayaru. So again, I don't know which Imo state is talking about. Now, furthermore, let me tell you why this Imo state is absolutely positioned to re-elect a governor. And he knows this, by the way. People in PDP and their brothers and sisters, they know that the train has left the station. And I think the frustration should all die down so we can focus on rebuilding and deepening the governance our governor has put together for Imo State. So, are they going to re-elect the governor? Yes, absolutely. All the indications are strong because the man has done a solid job in the last 3.5 years. And the lives of Imo people are better off, and our people know it, and they are joining by day more and more in the movement that is the train that has left the station to re-elect a great governor. So I keep challenging him as to which Imo he's talking about. And if he's in Imo State, and if he's anywhere near Owerri, I can bet right now that it will take less than 10 minutes to get to my home, because the road is perfectly done, high quality. In fact, the vice president commissioned just a week and a half ago when he was here, the MCC connects to my hometown. This is part of the infrastructure we're talking about across people. It takes me less than 10 minutes. So he's in a dream world about which Imo he's talking about, not my Imo, and not the Imo of the vast majority of Imo people. So again, I say to them, join the winning train. Let's re-elect a governor, and then after which we'll move on the Imo Charter of Equity that is in place, and we can elect our next governor after his 4 years that will go to Owerri and then to Okigwe. By the way, Imo State Elders Council, as we speak right now, are in another crucial meeting to send a delegation to our brother Sam Dadi Anyanwu to step down, because it is the turn of Olu to produce the governor, and that the turn of Owerri is 2027. As we speak, they are preparing to go on another delegation to say, sorry, Imo people have decided we now need to move in the direction of Imo Charter of Equity. And our governor has done a great job. I don't want to sit here and join issues with him. He knows who I am. He knows I'm a private sector man. I'm not here to speak because I have any personal gain. We have come together, private sector people, professionals, dug into Imo to support our governor in the best interest of Imo State. And I invite them to join this train.
Mr. Iheanacho, has your candidate, because Mr. Chukwueke has referred to that particular issue twice now, but has your candidate received any such calls to step down over zoning arrangements?
Quickly enlighten my brother who is in private sector. I am in political sector. I've been a local government chairman. I've been in the House of Assembly. Let me tell him, maybe he just arrived. Tell him the route to his house is fire service to his house, not Toronto. Toronto is a different world entirely. Why is he mentioning that place to his house? Now let's look at that one. And where is ITC? What has happened to ITC? What has happened to the zoo? The naked zoo. The only legacy that is left, southeast, or Nambakwe, right from Michael Opera to Mbakwe, the zoo. What has happened to it? They've all destroyed it. They partitioned the land and sold it. And Jerry has gotten 2 plots there. And that is a zoo where some of us used to go.
Oh, wow. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Mr. Iheanacho, are you still there? Mr. Iheanacho, I want to be sure that you're there because you were responding to... All right, I understand that, again, we've lost connection with him because of his network, but we're back to Mr. Chukwueke. Before he comes back in, and
So can I continue, please?
All right, Mr. Iheanacho, please go ahead.
Now, so let me round up quickly. I'm not taking your time. Ask him. There's naked zoo we are talking about, 2.8 billion naira was from it. And the villagers are complaining because it's their land. None. Where are the animals that used to be there? But let's leave that one. He is now talking straight to your question, whether anybody is calling somebody to step down. When 6 candidates have talking together to come together to support somebody, ask him. He knows about the Ebu Declaration. The 5th anniversary of Ebu Declaration was done just a week ago. Ask Jerry to this, in front of his house. That was where the 5th anniversary of Ebu Declaration is. Where Ebu Declaration is where 5 years ago, the whole thing got together to now enact and say 219 was the turn of Owerri zone, and the whole Imo State agreed. Ask Jerry Chukwueke. He ran around that time campaigning to be a governor. Why can we run around to be a governor? Ask him what was the mantra. His prayer then was, it is the turn of Owerri zone. Let Owerri zone rule for once. After Olu zone, where he's asking now, we should wait till 2027, which means by then, Olu zone must have ruled Imo State for 24 years. Owerri zone, 7 months. Under making head on her. Okigwe zone, 4 years. My brother, my sister, is this fair enough? This is the height of man's inhumanity to man. And that is why we are saying, our brothers from Olo, please be sensible enough. He's not talking about equity. He who is going to equity must go in clean hands. Are your hands clean in APC? Your hands are dirty because you are.
All right. So I would also say let's be careful. In terms of let's speak to each other in a very civil manner. As saying whether his hands are clean or not is not, the conversation we're having. You can talk about that, when you're back in Imo State. But I also wanted to ask you, because people will say, look, the opposition has done nothing but criticize. That's what we know the opposition for around the country. But when it comes to policies, they do not recommend. So let's talk about your candidate, Anyanwu. What does he plan to do? What are his plans for the people of Imo State? Mr. Iheanacho, are you still there? All right. Again, network challenges. Let me bring in again. Mr. Iheanacho, can you hear me? I was asking about the plans of your candidate for the people of Imo State.
I'm hearing you clearly. My candidate is a frontline winner in 11-11 election coming. And the 5-6 political parties, their candidates are now subsuming themselves into PDP. Anybody who's telling you that Samdadi is weak is a liar. We are not weak. We are the Igbo State people have resolved to all now get together to remove a government that is not functioning. The flag off we did a few days ago, Owerri could not move. And that is what is giving everybody nightmares now. I know my brother Jerry, when he ran his election, when he wanted to be governor, he was talking about equity. The Charter of Equity has given Olu 24 years. Owerri zone, 7 months. Okigwe zone, 4 years. We are now saying...
And you have made that point earlier. I just want to give you like a minute because we're now running out of time. Okay, because I want to get back to Mr. Chukwueke. I was asking you about the plans of your candidate for the people of Imo State.
Samdadi has the best program to do local government election. Samdadi has the best program to do infrastructure development. Samdadi has the best program to give our youth sense of belonging by giving employment. All the people sacked, the 10,000 people employed that they sacked, Samdadi has permitted youth to bring them back. And we have a data bank, a database where we are bringing all these youths to get them. We are not sending them to Canada. We are not sending them to Europe because that's the modern day slavery. We are not into slavery. Samuel Anyanwu is coming to empower the youth right here in Imo State. And first of all, we have to make the place safe by making sure that we develop a local arrangement whereby everybody knows everybody in every village. So the local security network is going to establish, we will take care of all.
All right, so let me go to Mr. Chukwueke. The allegations that the governor is weaponizing IMSA, which is the state signage agents and advertising agency, and saying that other candidates should pay 54 million naira before they can erect a billboard. I want you to respond to that particular allegation. Mr. Chukwueke, are you there? Ms. Iheanacho, just hold on. I was speaking to Mr. Chukwueke.
Down a minute.
All the posters, not just our own, no other political party except.
Ms. Iheanacho, please just hold on. Mr. Chukwueke is responding to my question. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know there's a lot of desperation out there on their side, but that's okay. By the way, I have no land allocated to me anywhere in Owerri. I have a country home in Awaka where I have built and lived for many, many years. I keep telling you that he has an imaginary emotion on his mind. So where he says I was allocated 2 plots, maybe there's somebody else he's talking about, not me. I have no such interest and no such thing happen. If he has any evidence to that effect, please let him present it to you, and you can now deduce from it all the stuff we've been hearing from him. But having said that, I think what is important is this. Imo State and the people of this state recognize not just the great job Governor Hope is done, but the fact that he will win the next election. It will be a mandate of the people. It will be strong. And let me tell you, it will be based on the fact that he's done a great job. And I also come back to them who talk about security and aspects. That one of the things they never tell you is precisely what they will do differently in terms of security. You will never hear it. All they want to talk about is, oh, there's insecurity in Imo, but they've gone all over Imo campaigning. They have had no security issues, and they don't prefer any solutions to it. They are waiting, according to them, for the magic wine to come November the 11th, and they're going to turn on their solution, and automatically Imo will be restored to full peace. We invite them to do so now and spare the Imo people. They don't have to wait till after November the 11th. But you know they have no facts and they have no strategy. It's a party that is in a lot of trouble. He talked about the people who didn't show up at his campaign. I didn't want to flag off. I didn't want to join issues with him. He knows that former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihadem, does not support Samdari Anyanwu. The man that they nominated as their DG of their campaign, you can ask him. He is the deputy DG. Did he show up that day? Ugo Chinyere wasn't there. I don't want to join issues with him. He knows that their party is in complete disarray. The leadership is weak. Imo people understand it. That is not the direction Imo is going. And he didn't respond to the question you raised. Have the people of Imo State, represented by the key stakeholders and the elders council across parties, have not gone to Samdari Anyanwu severally, including the one they will do after today, again and again, to ask him to step down, that it is not Owerri's time to run for governor, that he should wait till 2027. So he's talking about former governor Emeka Ihadem being bereaved. Yes, that's true. But he could have, to say he's following him, we know that he simply would have connected by Zoom and greeted the people of PDP while they came for the rally. He was nowhere because he's not with him. Former Governor Chikudem was not with him. He doesn't have the key support of Imo people, not the leadership of PDP itself, and many of their members are now joining them. So we wait. November the 11th is almost there. Like
Mr. Chukwueke, you have not also answered my question on the issue of the signage and the 54 million naira being asked by other political parties to be paid before they can erect their billboard.
That is not true. As a matter of fact, I don't know how funded they are, and that is the call that they have to make. You know that every billboard has a cost, and it's not Governor Hope who's directing it. It is the Owerri Metropolitan and its own local organization. So I don't really know what he's talking about. There's no such thing about a 54 million naira levy for a billboard. Absolutely not. If you go to Keduru, you'll find many billboards, for example, of Senator Samdari Anyanwu, who, by the way, is my friend and brother. I've seen him. I went to Keduru and I saw many of his billboards. So I don't know what he's talking about. Did he pay 54 million naira over there to erect them? So these are all just talking points politically, and I don't really pay much attention to those talking points. I was talking about the zoo and producing the animals that were in the zoo. That's not where we are. Animals are a good thing, but we are talking about Imo development and the empowerment of Imo people and the great governance that we're experiencing, and will be further deepened to come by governors re-election.
All right, so Mr. Ihenatu, I want you to speak to the issue of the 54 million naira. We understand that that's what IMISA is asking other political parties to pay to erect their billboard. Is that the situation on ground? Has your party been able to erect any billboard?
Please, I challenge him to call anybody, and I'm saying as a man of honor on my integrity, we have even paid this money. And we paid initial 10 million. They made it, they say it must come from there. We made it up till now. They can't allow any of our billboards to stand anywhere. Not just us, no other political party. But even at that, he is claiming that people are going to Samdari to beg him to step down. Hey, if Samdari is weak, why do you bother going to beg him to step down? Why don't you go and defeat him at the polls? If somebody is weak, why do you waste your energy going to beg him? Why do you raise elders to go and beg him? Why are you tearing his posters if he's weak? Why don't you allow him put his billboard if he's weak? If somebody doesn't want anything, then why don't you ignore it? According to Shakespeare, he said that without regard should be treated without merit. So if he doesn't want anything, so why don't you ignore him and let him fool himself? But certainly he knows the truth. He knows Samdari is ripe. Samdari is ready. Samdari is prepared because he was groomed from local government to House of Assembly to the Senate. He has done the working in terms of grooming. And besides, my dear sister, Samdari has classmates. Samdari went to school. Let anybody let Jerry Chukwueke. Yes, I know Jerry must have gone to school up to a point. He knows his classmates. Let anybody mention his classmates. Samdari went to university. His classmate for Uniport.
All right, that network also breaking there. I just want to give you 30 seconds because Mr. Chukwueke, just 30 seconds as we wrap now. As a response, please, just 30 seconds as your response.
Is prepared to take over Imo State, and Imo State is PDP. Our people are prepared.
Mr. Henatu, I have given Mr. Chukwueke the last 30 seconds to respond, just so we can close.
Well, thank you very much. Imo people are looking forward to the re-election of our great governor, Governor Hope Uzodimma. He's done a fantastic job in deepening democracy and its dividends, and I think his good governance strategy never said anybody went to beg somebody. No, I said that the Imo Elders Council, alongside Imo professionals and key stakeholders who formed the body and made the decision on the Charter of Equity, have asked him on more than 2 occasions to step down. And they are going on another delegation to again reaffirm their position on the Imo Charter of Equity. Not to beg him. We're not begging anybody, because we know that by God's grace, all the numbers show it, and Igbo people are ready to re-elect.
All right, Mr. Chukwueke, we do have to leave it there. All right, thank you both. Let's just state that, look, the PDP and the APC are not the only parties in this race. There is the Labour Party, there is the ADP, and other political parties. I will see how things play out in a run-up to this particular election. Thank you both for joining us. Director of Mobilization, Uzodimma Re-Election Campaign Council, Mr. Jerry Chukwueke, thank you so much for talking to us. And Mr. Mike Henatu, who is the Deputy Director General of the PDP Campaign Council. Also, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are coming to take over Imo State, and we are ready.
All right, that's Standpoint. We will have a repeat broadcast at 11 p.m. tonight. You can watch. You can also watch at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. I am Precious Amayo. Thanks for watching.